Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking. Yes, to my people that have been sending me messages like, what is moving in Togo? What is moving in Togo? Poultry farming is doing so well in Togo, and that is the reason why I'm bringing this video for you, so you can actually make a lot of money from poultry farming in Togo right now, because demand is very high. You see this place, I come here like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get eggs, and you need to book an appointment to come and get eggs. That's to tell you how high the demand is. So I was opportune to talk to the poultry owner, and let's run through some of the things you need to do, how to start a poultry farm and everything. If you have the capital and you are ready to invest, these are the things you are supposed to do. Yeah. So poultry farming is not something you can just be like, okay, I want to start my poultry, and boom, you get your birds and you start going. That's a wrong move. So before starting a poultry farm, you need to learn. Take a course. I don't know if it's online, or go to a poultry, take a course on how to rear these birds, because you are involving a lot of money in this business and you don't want to lose your money. So the very first step in starting a poultry farm is to take some basic training. Do not rush to operate the poultry farm business without proper training from a dependable farming institution. It's a delicate business, and you are dealing with living birds. You don't want to lose them. And for example, if you do not get the training about how to breed a day-old chicks, like it can be fatal. You don't want to lose them. So you have to take training on how you can successfully take care of your birds from chicks to they are fully grown. Yeah. Okay, so like the second step is you have to choose your poultry sector. So poultry farming is a wide industry. There are two types of farming you can choose from. It's either you choose broilers or you choose layers. So some people might be confused. What are broilers? They are like chickens that you raise for meat only, and layers are chicken that are raised for eggs. Then from here you can calculate like the amount of money you will put in and how much you will get. If you think eggs can give you more money or broilers can give you more money, you can always choose. But for me, I feel like layers can give more money, because at the end you will say they will give you a lot of eggs, and it's not like you are gaining just the eggs, because when they are done laying, you can as well go ahead and sell the birds. So in this poultry, they deal mainly with layers, because they are like the main people in our neighborhood supplying eggs. Yeah. So, and a lot of people are not involved in this poultry farming here in Lomé. That's why egg is really expensive. Okay, so when you are thinking of starting a poultry farm, you should really consider the location. You should think of setting your poultry farm at the most appropriate location, because the location must have like the necessary facilities. You should try to build your poultry farm business a little away from the town, so that you can have the land and the labor at a cheaper cost. However, setting up the farm for chicken businesses too far away from the nearest town will be too far away, might be a mistake, because remember, you need people to buy, you need customers. So it should not be too far from the town, and it should not be like too close to the town. So one important thing is having a business plan. Make sure you have a poultry farm business plan well in advance to run your poultry farm. The plan should include a broader picture of what shape the business would look like in the next 3 to 5 years. You cannot just go into it without plans. Just, I don't know. Yeah. Write down your vision, your objectives, or your poultry product targets and stuff like that. Like with this, is going to guide you in setting up your farm. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you should at least include in your plan. You have to write a summary of the products you would deliver, and the mission, your vision, and everything, the jobs you will create, and you should also target the market, the pricing strategy, and all these things. And if you are getting a loan, you should write down the loan and distribute the money evenly when it comes to like buying the chicks and the feed and everything should be in place before you can dive into the business. So our next step is installing a perfect poultry housing system. A poultry cage is an elementary requirement to start a poultry farm. You must own some of them, and the health of your chickens will largely depend on how convenient the cage is for the birds. So it would be nice if you can first visit some nearby farms and you can always think of what your own will look like. So all this depends on your budget as well. As you all can see the structure right here, this one is not really cheap, but it depends on your budget. You can get something that you can start with, and later you can always go ahead and expand. So like there are different types of housing systems. They have the intensive housing systems and the extensive housing systems. With the extensive housing systems, the birds are just allowed to roam around, and they have other ones as well where the birds are like in cages. It depends on your budget, as I earlier said. And yeah. And you must always think about your budget. Like starting a poultry farm will mean there must be a good amount of fund in your hands. You may be planning to start a small poultry farm business, but even that requires you to put in place some basic facilities to run a successful farm. Except you are living in a village where you can just like leave them out to roam and later on, and they can feed wherever they want, but there is still cost because you need to buy them. So you need some money to put things in place. And one thing too is, don't start big. You can always start small and experiment before you can go in big. When starting your poultry farm business as well, you should also think about the breed of birds you are going to get, because you don't want to buy like bad breeds, because it's going to impact the poultry farm business a lot. Imagine you get layers that maybe they delay to lay like for a month or two. Do you know the losses? And let's say you get broilers that are not growing, because normally people are going to buy your chickens according to the size. So you have to buy the birds from dependable breeders, people who are in the business, and like people really trust them, that yes, these people, we know what they are doing, we know the kind of birds they have, so we can really trust them to get our chicks from them. You should ask questions. Go to different poultries, ask them, where do you get your birds? Like, can I trust this person? Don't just go ahead and buy chicks that will maybe ruin your farm. So apart from that, you should know how to feed the chicks as well. Another key consideration in setting up your poultry farm business is knowing how to feed the chicks properly. Know that most of your production expenditure will be on buying your poultry feed. Like nearly 70% of the production cost will comprise of your cost of poultry feed. You can even produce your own poultry feed using the ingredients that you buy from the market. It will be good if you learn how to prepare feed by yourself. Like it's going to lower the cost as well. But you still need to learn the technique and how they do it, and make sure you are mixing everything in the right proportion. You don't just want to go and get like maybe a lot of corn with just like little soya beans, then maybe the birds are not getting enough protein. You need to learn so that your birds are not malnourished. And remember, when it comes to layers, if you don't feed them properly, they will produce very few eggs, and the eggs will be very small in size as well. So you have to make sure you are mixing the feeds very well. Like chickens have diseases like dermatitis, paralysis, and chicken rickets, and the liver syndrome. These diseases can occur due to vitamin deficiencies in the feed. Yeah, so apart from that, you have to make sure you are vaccinating your birds properly. They have like these very contagious diseases in them. You want to minimize this, like as much as you can, because you don't want to lose your money. So just take precautions. You don't want to wait until everything is going down before you start running. Just make sure you are avoiding anything that can cause any harm to your birds. So go ahead and vaccinate them. And I think with all this in place, you are good to go. And from here as well, you have to, when your birds are already growing and you start producing eggs, you have to go out there and advertise. Go to shop owners and be like, okay, I have eggs, I can supply you eggs. And go to restaurants. If you are selling like these broilers, you can tell them I can supply chicken and stuff like that. And from there, people will get to know about your poultry business. And guess what? You are good to go. You'll be like these people here. We need to book appointments to come and buy egg from them. Yeah, when you are involving yourself in any business, you want to think on how it is, like the market. You want to think on the market, because you don't want to rear chickens and then boom, nobody is buying. Yeah, that would be wrong. And one more important point: get yourself a good caretaker, and you have to also be present. If you don't have a good caretaker, I don't know what you are doing. You have to be present as well. So I think with these points, you can go ahead and start something, but I don't think it's enough. Go ahead and get a class, take a course on how to do this and start a poultry farm business. And yes, of course, I know I'm going to do something like this in the future when I have the funds. Yeah, if you have the space, why not? For me, I wish I could do it, but I don't have the space yet to set up the housing and stuff like that. But if you have the space, why not? So that's practically it for the video. Yeah, this is a very good business you can do here in Lomé. Thank you all. I really appreciate you. And if you need a part 2 of this, just go ahead and let me know. And until next time, bye. Like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you all.